World-beating wine and UNESCO-listed Roman ruins are on the menu in the small city of Orange and Vaucluse. The theater is one of Europe's most spectacular Roman monuments, and you'll be amazed by how much of this building is still in situ. There's an informative little museum next door, and a short walk from the center of the town is a Triumphal Arch, noted for its three-arch design. If you love wine, you'll have the pleasure of discovering the many domains, caves and wineries of the Châteauneuf du Pape region, one of the strictest and most revered labels in the world. Today we share the top 10 best things to do in Orange so you can plan a trip and experience all the exciting attractions and activities this beautiful city has to offer. Starting with number 10, Roman Theater. Orange's Roman Theater is one of the great ancient sites in Europe. There isn't a better preserved Roman theater in France, or possibly the rest of the continent, and is rare because it retains its skinny fronds, the 37-meter-high stone backdrop to the stage, with niches, columns, and a statue of Augustus. The exterior facade is stunning too, an imposing stone wall with corbels at the top, and 3 wooden doors leading to the stage. To this day, the theater can seat 9,000 spectators and has an expansive stage, 61 meters across. At number 9 is the Triumphal Arch. About half a kilometer north of the theater, on the N7, is Orange's other fabulous piece of Roman heritage, dating to the rule of Augustus in the 1st century. It is dedicated to the members of the Gaulish Legion that founded Orange and was later updated to include the military successes of Germanicus and Tiberius over the German tribes. One of the things that makes it so noteworthy is that it has 3 arches, and is the oldest one with this design still intact. At number 8, Orange Cathedral. The Diocese of Orange was suppressed after the Revolution, so for more than 200 years Orange Cathedral hasn't strictly been a cathedral. That detail does nothing to detract from the subtle beauty of this 12th century Romanesque building, which has a few neoclassical updates on the facade. The church has had a difficult history, having suffered damage during the French Wars of Religion, and for a time during the conflict it was a Huguenot Protestant church. Inside there's a painting commemorating Orange's 32 nuns who were martyred during the Reign of Terror in 1794. At number 7, Colline Saint-Eutrope. The highest point in Orange is the 105-meter hill into which Orange's Roman Theater is built. The hill has an intriguing history of its own, as it was the site of the Chateau of the Princes of Nassau, a massive fortress with 11 bastions, claimed to have been one of the most beautiful in Europe. Up to 1672 the city had been a fiefdom of the Dutch House of Orange-Nassau, and so was Protestant. This ended following a siege by the Count of Grignan under Louis XIV, during which gunpowder was used to demolish the walls. At number 6 in our list, Musée Aéronautique d'Orange. After your visit to the base, you may be itching to see some hardware, and this museum obliges, with a big set of fighters, bombers, helicopters, and other aircraft a short way south of the base. It is run by Les Amis de la 5e Escadre, an association for former members and patrons of a former fighter unit that lasted from 1945 to 1995. It's a bit of a wonderland for fans of 20th century jets, with a large collection of French-made Dassault Mirages and Mystères. There are also foreign aircraft such as the Havilland Vampires and Hawker Hunters, as well as interesting Navy planes like the Brigade Alizé and F-8 Crusader with variable incidence wings. At number 5, Châteauneuf du Pape. At the top of this world-renowned wine village are the shard-like ruins of the Château de Papes. The castle was built in the 1300s for Pope John XXII, who also founded the vineyards, as a summer residence. Perhaps the structure has seen better days, with only 2 walls from the dungeon still standing, but you can see bits of the Gothic vaulting, and it's an interesting fragment of the Avignon papacy. What brings most visitors though are the village's caves, vineyards, and chateaus. where they can savor one of France's most beloved wine labels. For more background, the Musée du Vin Brut has a display of presses and old farming tools going all the way back to the 1300s. At number 4, Avignon. The local history is so entwined with the Avignon papacy that there's no reason not to make the half-hour trip to the city. In the 14th century, this was the seat of Western Christianity, and the palace of the popes where they ruled and lived is a landmark of bewildering scale and beauty. It's the largest Gothic building in the world, and there's a wealth of things to see inside, like the gorgeous frescoes in Clement VI's private study and the St. Martial Chapel. The older part of the city is loaded with Renaissance architecture as a reflection of the city's standing in the 15th and 16th century. At number 3 in our list, Luberon. If the sight of mountains to the distant east of Orange captures your imagination, then you won't have far to travel. Orange is only around 35 kilometers from the edge of the Luberon Regional Park, which is known the world over for its cute medieval villages, rugged limestone hills, ochre-tinted rocks, fields of lavender and olive groves. For itinerary ideas, you could just drive from one picturesque hilltop village to another. Banyuls, Gourds, Roussillon, and Isle-sur-Sorgue could all be done in a single day. At number 2, Uzès. There isn't a large monument to pick out in this city, but you won't regret making the undemanding drive west from Orange just to experience its old streets. They're brimming with history because Uzès was a bishopric up to the 18th century, so has an inordinate amount of listed buildings for such a small place, 40 in total. This classes Uzès as a French ville d'art d'histoire, amble along the serpentine cobblestone streets armed with a map from the tourism office to point out the Renaissance and 17th century mansions. Don't leave without getting an eyeful of the Le Duc, where the Dukes of Uzès lived in Renaissance luxury. Check out the number 1 places in our list, Grenache. There are 21 estates and chateaux to visit in the Orange area alone. Orange falls within 2 of the world of wine's preeminent AOCs. Châteauneuf du Pape came about in the 1300s when the Avignon Pope John XXII developed this vineyard, and the name had been fiercely protected long before appellations were introduced in the 1930s. Even now the grapes have to be hand-picked and sorted for a wine to qualify. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite things to do in Orange? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.